What if I told you that one of the most powerful brain-boosting substances on the planet is sitting in your grocery store right now, costs less than $2? And if you add it to your breakfast every single morning, studies show your memory, your focus, and your mental clarity can improve dramatically in as little as 14 days? No prescription, no expensive supplements, no complicated routine, just one simple addition to the breakfast you are already eating. And the most shocking part? Neurologists have known about this for years, but nobody is talking about it. And before we go any further, meet Margaret. She is 68 years old, lives in Austin, Texas, and about a year ago she started forgetting things that genuinely scared her. She would walk into a room and completely forget why she was there. She would blank on her grandchildren's birthdays. She would lose her train of thought mid-sentence while talking to her husband of 40 years. Her doctor told her it was just normal aging and sent her home with no real answers and no real solutions, but Margaret refused to accept that. She started researching on her own. She found one specific ingredient backed by multiple clinical studies, and she began adding it to her breakfast every single morning. 14 days later, her daughter called her and said, "Mom, you seem like yourself again." Today, I am going to share exactly what Margaret added to her breakfast, why the science behind it is genuinely remarkable, and how you can start doing the same thing tomorrow morning. So stay with me all the way to the end of this video because I promise you, what you are about to learn is going to completely change the way you think about breakfast, brain health, and what is actually possible for your memory at any age. And if you are new to this channel, welcome. Hit that subscribe button right now because we bring you research-backed, honest, and genuinely life-changing health information every single week. This community is growing fast and I do not want you to miss a single video. Now let us get into the science. Let us start with something that most people do not fully understand about the brain. Your brain is not a static organ. It is not something that just slowly deteriorates over time with nothing you can do about it. Your brain is remarkably dynamic. It has a property called neuroplasticity, which is the brain's incredible ability to form new connections, repair damaged pathways, and actually grow new neurons even in your 60s, 70s, and beyond. This is not wishful thinking. This is established, peer-reviewed neuroscience, and one of the most powerful ways to activate neuroplasticity and protect your brain is through specific nutrients that you consume every single day. What you eat for breakfast, the very first meal your brain receives fuel from each morning, has a profound and measurable impact on how your brain performs for the rest of that day and over the long term. Here is what happens inside your brain when you wake up every morning. After 7 to 8 hours of sleep, your brain has been in repair and consolidation mode all night. It has been processing memories, clearing out toxic waste proteins like beta amyloid, which is the same protein linked to Alzheimer's disease, and rebuilding neural connections. When you wake up, your brain is essentially ready to be fueled. The nutrients you give it in that first morning meal either support all that nighttime repair work and set your brain up for a sharp, focused day, or they undermine it. Most Americans are unknowingly choosing the second option every single morning without realizing it. So what is this ingredient? What is this one thing that Margaret added to her breakfast that changed everything in just 14 days? The answer is lion's mane mushroom. And before you say, wait, a mushroom? Hear me out completely because the research behind this is extraordinary and it goes back decades. Lion's mane mushroom, scientifically known as Hericium erinaceus, is a white, shaggy-looking mushroom that has been used in traditional Chinese and Japanese medicine for thousands of years, specifically for brain and nervous system health. But it is not just ancient tradition that makes it remarkable. It is the modern science. Lion's mane contains two unique compounds found nowhere else in the natural world: hericinones and erinacines. These two compounds have been shown in multiple peer-reviewed studies to stimulate the production of nerve growth factor, also known as NGF. And NGF is essentially one of the most important proteins in your entire body when it comes to brain health. Nerve growth factor is responsible for the growth, maintenance, and survival of your neurons, the brain cells responsible for memory, learning, focus, and cognitive function. As we age, our natural production of NGF declines, and when NGF declines, neurons begin to shrink and die at a faster rate. This is one of the key biological reasons why memory gets worse as we get older. But here is the incredible part. Lion's mane mushroom has been shown to actually stimulate NGF production in the brain, essentially telling your brain to grow, repair, and protect its neurons. No pharmaceutical drug currently on the market can do this safely and naturally the way lion's mane can. That is a remarkable statement, and it is backed by science. A landmark study published in the journal Phytotherapy Research examined a group of adults between the ages of 50 and 80 who were experiencing mild cognitive decline. Half of the group consumed lion's mane mushroom powder every day for 16 weeks. The other half received a placebo. At the end of the study, the group consuming lion's mane showed significantly higher scores on cognitive function tests compared to the placebo group. Their memory, focus, and mental processing speed had all measurably improved. And perhaps most importantly, when they stopped taking the lion's mane, their scores began to decline again, confirming that it was specifically the lion's mane causing the improvement. Another study published in the Journal of Agricultural and Food Chemistry found that lion's mane extract significantly reduced memory loss in mice that had been given a drug to induce Alzheimer's-like symptoms. The mice that received lion's mane performed dramatically better on memory tests than those that did not. While human and animal studies are different, this research provides compelling evidence about the mechanisms through which lion's mane protects brain function at the cellular level. And the benefits do not stop at memory. Additional research has shown that lion's mane can help reduce symptoms of anxiety and depression, both of which are closely linked to cognitive decline and poor memory. It can support the growth of new brain cells in the hippocampus, the part of your brain most directly responsible for forming and storing memories. It has powerful anti-inflammatory properties that protect brain tissue from the chronic low-grade inflammation that drives cognitive decline. And it supports the myelin sheath, the protective coating around your nerve fibers that allows electrical signals to travel quickly and efficiently through your brain. When myelin is healthy, your brain thinks faster, recalls information more quickly, and maintains sharp focus throughout the day. Now let us come back to Margaret, because her story illustrates all of this science in the most human and relatable way possible. When Margaret started researching after her doctor gave her no answers, she came across several studies on lion's mane mushroom. She was skeptical at first. She had never heard of it before, and she was not someone who typically used supplements or alternative remedies. But the research was compelling enough that she decided to try it. She found a high-quality lion's mane powder at her local health food store and started adding 1 teaspoon to her morning oatmeal every day. Just 1 teaspoon. That was the only change she made. In the first few days, she did not notice much of anything. She kept her expectations low and just stayed consistent. By the end of the first week, she noticed that she was feeling slightly more alert in the mornings. By day 10, she realized she had not had a single moment where she walked into a room and forgot why she was there, something that had been happening almost daily for months. By day 14, the change was noticeable enough that her daughter commented on it during a phone call. Margaret told me she felt like a fog had lifted. She said she felt more present, more sharp, more like herself than she had in years. She now adds lion's mane to her breakfast every single morning without fail and says it is the single best thing she has done for her health in the last decade. Now I want to be very clear here. Margaret's experience is her own, and individual results will always vary. But her experience is consistent with what researchers have been finding in clinical studies for years. And it is consistent with what thousands of people across the country are reporting after adding lion's mane to their daily routine. So how exactly do you add lion's mane to your breakfast? This is the part people always ask about, and the good news is it is incredibly easy. Lion's mane is available in several forms: powder, capsule, and liquid extract. For breakfast specifically, the powder form is the most versatile and easy to use. Here are 5 simple ways to add it to your morning meal starting tomorrow. First, stir it into your oatmeal. 1 teaspoon of lion's mane powder has a very mild, slightly earthy flavor that blends almost unnoticeably into a warm bowl of oatmeal. Add some blueberries, walnuts, and a drizzle of honey, and you have got one of the most brain-protective breakfasts you can possibly eat. Second, blend it into your morning smoothie. Lion's mane powder mixes perfectly into any smoothie. Combine it with banana, spinach, almond milk, and a tablespoon of almond butter for a powerhouse, brain-boosting breakfast that takes less than 3 minutes to prepare. Third, mix it into your coffee or tea. This is actually one of the most popular ways people consume lion's mane, and there are even pre-made lion's mane coffees available now at many health stores and online. The powder dissolves easily into hot liquids, and the flavor is subtle enough that most people cannot taste it at all. Fourth, add it to scrambled eggs. If you are a savory breakfast person, stir a teaspoon of lion's mane powder into your eggs before cooking. Combined with vegetables like spinach, bell peppers, and onions, this creates an incredibly nutritious and brain-friendly morning meal. Fifth, mix it into Greek yogurt. Plain Greek yogurt is already an excellent breakfast choice. Adding lion's mane powder along with some fresh berries and a handful of granola gives you protein, probiotics, antioxidants, and powerful NGF-stimulating compounds all in one bowl. Now, when it comes to dosage and quality, this is important. Most studies showing cognitive benefits used between 500 milligrams and 3,000 milligrams of lion's mane per day. If you are using a powder, 1 teaspoon typically provides around 1,000 to 2,000 milligrams depending on the brand. Always look for products that are certified organic, use the full fruiting body rather than just the mycelite, and are third-party tested for purity and potency. The quality of the product matters enormously, and not all lion's mane supplements are created equal. Read the labels carefully and do your research on the brand before purchasing. Let us also talk about what else you should be pairing with lion's mane at breakfast to maximize its brain-boosting effects. Because lion's mane works even better when it is part of an overall brain-healthy morning routine. Add wild blueberries to your breakfast whenever possible. They are packed with anthocyanins, which are powerful antioxidants that cross the blood-brain barrier and protect neurons from oxidative stress. Include walnuts. They are one of the only nuts that contain significant amounts of DHA, which is the omega-3 fatty acid most critical for brain cell structure and function. Drink green tea alongside your breakfast. It contains a compound called L-theanine that promotes calm, focused alertness and works synergistically with the brain-boosting effects of lion's mane. And stay hydrated. Your brain is approximately 75% water, and even mild dehydration measurably impairs memory and cognitive performance. Drink a full glass of water first thing every morning before anything else. The combination of lion's mane mushroom with these other brain-supportive foods creates what researchers sometimes call a neurological synergy, where the combined effect of multiple beneficial nutrients working together is greater than any single ingredient alone. This is not a one-ingredient magic fix. It is a holistic approach to feeding your brain the right fuel at the right time of day, consistently every single morning. One more thing I want to address before we wrap up, and that is the question of consistency. The research is clear that the benefits of lion's mane build over time with consistent daily consumption. You are not going to eat it once and wake up the next morning with a perfect memory, but if you commit to adding it to your breakfast every single day for 14 days, just 14 days, the studies and the thousands of real people who have tried this all point to the same conclusion. You will notice a difference. Your recall will feel sharper. Your focus will feel cleaner. The mental fog that you may have accepted as just getting older will begin to lift, and that is worth 2 minutes of effort in your kitchen every morning. So here is your action plan. Tomorrow morning, go to your local health food store or search online for a high-quality organic lion's mane mushroom powder. Add 1 teaspoon to your breakfast, your oatmeal, your smoothie, your coffee, your eggs, your yogurt. Do it every single morning for 14 days. Do not skip days. Be consistent. And then pay attention to how your brain feels. Pay attention to your memory, your focus, your mental clarity. I am confident you are going to be amazed by what you notice. Now I want to hear from you. Drop a comment right now and tell me your age and the city you are watching from. And tell me, have you ever tried lion's mane mushroom before? Have you heard of it? Are you going to try it? I read every single comment in this community and I genuinely want to know your experience. And if this video gave you something valuable, if it taught you something you did not know before, please share it with someone you love. Share it with a parent, a spouse, a friend who has been struggling with memory or brain fog. This information could genuinely change their life. And if you are not subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button right now and turn on the notification bell. We post new health content every single week, and you do not want to miss what is coming next. Thank you so much for watching. Take care of your brain, because a sharp mind is one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself and everyone who loves you. This video is intended for educational and informational purposes only. It does not constitute medical advice, medical diagnosis, or a treatment plan of any kind. The information presented in this video is based on publicly available scientific research and general wellness information. The story of Margaret has been included for illustrative purposes to demonstrate real-world experiences consistent with existing research. Individual results will always vary. Lion's mane mushroom and other dietary supplements may interact with certain medications or health conditions. Always consult with a qualified and licensed healthcare professional or physician before adding any new supplement or making significant changes to your diet or health routine. The creator of this channel is not a licensed medical professional. This content is not evaluated or approved by the Food and Drug Administration. No product mentioned in this video is intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Never disregard professional medical advice or delay seeking medical care because of information you have seen in this video. Viewer discretion is advised.